Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Formula One series where we will be in Vietnam at the Vietnam Grand Prix today. And I'm going to go ahead and let them take over real quick as we jump into details on the track here that we will be facing.
The Formula One circus has arrived in Southeast Asia once more as we usher in a new era and get ready to go racing here in Vietnam. It's a track that combines the bespoke design of a traditional race circuit with the tight, close barriers of a street track that our drivers race on today. 23 corners and a total distance of 3.4 miles. Watch out in particular for overtaking into the braking zone at turn 11. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, or trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Albon, Charles Leclerc and Vettel, Ricardo, Sainz, Perez and Lando Norris, Ocon, Lucky, Daniel Kvyat and Gasly, Stroll, Magnussen, Roman Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen, Alesi, Russell, Giovinazzi and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
All right, and that would be it. So here we are going to be jumping into it. Qualified only in P12, did not have a good final run. So we are going to have to get a good start off here as we get the jump on, and we do need to be careful. This is going to be a crowded track. As you can see, it's a pretty tight squeeze as we hit the wall to start out, as we just got hammered into it. Kvyat, he just pushed me in. I can't believe he did that. That was some dirty, cheap driving, and the pit lane is on the whole other side of the track, so we have to try to manage somehow getting to the to our pit lane here already on the first lap. We're going to have to replace this wing, and hopefully we don't lose too many spots. That was beyond ridiculous on it. I can't believe that he did that. And they gave me the warning. I didn't hit him. He hit me. And so this is going to be obviously a pretty rough day. And here they come again, pushing on me. Norris for McLaren. Or Morris. I think it's Norris. This bum starts trying to shove me down into the corner. Oh, I guess they're mad that, I started winning already in Bahrain. I haven't been racing dirty at all. But no, they're trying to start some chitski. Okay, I see how it is. Just everybody flying past. I really don't have any aerodynamics at this point. Turning, as you can see, is dang near impossible, especially on some of these tight turns. So I'm gonna have a lot of ground to make up. I started 12th, had gained some spots, but obviously just been dropping off steadily since then as we kind of gone through this. So, and we hit the wall again. Our front wing is basically done. There's nothing I can do. I'm still trying to keep some form of a pace up. God, this is disappointing. As we will go ahead and we will get into this pit. And this is a massive pit lane. All right, I'll tell you, this is one of these pit lanes that just takes forever to get through. And I'm not sure. Yeah, look, we're already at about 12 seconds. We're not even to our station yet. We're going to have a whole front wing replacement. This is not good, and that's not how you want to start out. We have basically the worst possible start. It took us over 20 seconds to get to our spot, and this is one of the slowest pit stops I think we've had all season, coming in at just about 7 seconds and having to replace that. Man. That Kvyat guy needs to be disqualified from this race. That is ridiculous, is what I'll say. So now here comes the time where we are gonna have to try to make up a bunch of space. we got the open track for it. So, you know, our closest guy, we're 18 seconds behind Latifi. Is we are in last place. They didn't disqualify Gitviat. Disappointingly enough, they didn't. They should have, but we're gonna have to try to play a lot of catch up right here. And now this turn that I'm on right now, this turn's a pretty easy one to handle and kind of maneuver with and stick to the inside on. So I think kind of going forward, we should be able to, if we can catch up to everybody, which will take some laps, that'll be a big time passing opportunity for us, I have a feeling. There goes most of the field on the other side of the track running right past us. We try to keep these turns, having to keep them smooth, but some of these sharp ones are just almost impossible to do without, you know, bumping yourself a little bit on it. So Botas comes in with the fastest lap, as they're already on lap number 3. I'm still on lap number 2, probably about 2/3 of the way through it as we hit that little whip around turn, little S-turn thing that we got going. And that's what I mean. This track is not the easiest track in the world to be racing on. It's got a lot of sharp turns, a lot of tight ones, a couple big sweeping turns. The little S one in the middle makes you think you can just stick one line without having to do much on it, but you do that, you're going to end up in the wall. So. All right, coming up here now on the 4th lap at this point. We did just advance ahead a little bit. We have caught up to Latifi. Now, we're only a couple seconds behind him, but these sharp turns, if we can continue to hit them just like that, smooth flowing all the way through, we have been cutting the time down drastically. He's just over 1 second ahead of us, and we're going to be able to close this gap and hopefully work our way to get around him. This is not a passing zone. There's no way I would comfortably try to make a pass right there. Coming around these turns, though, I think I can swing to the outside and cut the next one to the inside. That's going to be kind of the test out that I'm going to have to figure. See, shoot it down on the inside, hold the spot without being hit, as we will get in front of him, and we have got a pass as we're now finally out of last position, coming here on the 4th lap, coming up to number 5, moving up to 21st position, right on the heels of Russell. And he is the next one in our sights. Now, Giovinazzi is about 7 seconds ahead of us, so it's going to take a little bit to catch up to him. But Russell's just right there. And it's holding these turns and taking these angles that's going to allow us to cut it off. I do think we have a little bit better of a car than what he's got available. So it's one of those things that if we can start just getting to him on these turns, and all our other competitors, he pushes us inside. God, that just doesn't seem right. Whatever happened to forcing someone to hold their damn lane? Hey, if y'all know the rules, do they have to hold their lane, or can they just shove you around? Is that possible? You know, I mean, I'm curious. I don't know. If you do know, comment down below. Tell me what these rules are a little bit more in F1. I've still been learning about it. I do have the Circuit of Americas in my home city. But I just don't know all that much about F1 racing. It's not anything that I paid attention to except for the last couple of years, and even then there's a whole bunch of little intricacies you got to pick up on it. Now, we did make our space between Russell after we did get past him, so Giovinazzi is about 4 seconds and Raikkonen is about 4.5. So these are the next two that we're going to be trying to take down coming in. We are on lap number 5 of 28. So we've got a long race to go, and I cannot afford any more damage like I've taken on that first lap. All right, so coming through, we did get the fastest lap right there. We have set the pace mark for this race. And now advancing a little ahead to lap number 7, we have kind of caught up to some of the main crew ahead of us. As we are taking down Grosjean with Haas Racing, and there's Magnussen, both of them for Haas, right in front of us, teaming up, trying to prevent me from getting any further. We have been fortunate enough to move up into the number 16 spot, but I cannot be satisfied with that. And this is what I mean. These passing lanes in Formula One are just they're incredibly small. And so finding that spot to fit it in is just It's almost impossible. I don't know how they do it in real life. It's hard enough in a video game. I really don't know how they pull that crap off in real life. It gives a whole new thought and respect for the drivers and what they do. As we're going to get right past Magnussen on that one, he dang almost put us into the wall too. I don't think guys are very happy with the fact I've won at Bahrain last time, and so that's why they're trying to just hammer us, and Magnussen puts us into the wall as we come shooting off and another man hits us. You've got to be kidding me. There's debris on the track. Collision with Kvyat again. What are the odds? Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. All right, you've got to be freaking kidding me on that. So now we've got to go right back in. Look, I cannot hardly even turn my car because of the damage they did to it. That wasn't on me. He nailed me and pushed me into the wall. Yeah, Kvyat's finally been disqualified. Thank you. It only took him hitting me twice for them to finally do that. Trying to kill me, that wee little bastard he is. I don't know if that's even a guy in real life. If it is, I don't know. But hey, just saying, you know, for the purposes of the game, Kvyat, you wee bastard. All right, back into the pits for the second time in 10 laps. Not for my own fault, because someone else has tried to put me into the damn wall. Bounced up, played freaking pinball going from the right to the left side. Front wing completely destroyed. This is just ridiculous the way they're doing it. They're racing me today. As we're going to have another pretty long stop, I'm fairly certain on this one. Magnussen, he's going to have to go, and yeah, because he hit me, you idiot. All right, so almost at about the 24-second end. And look at that. This stop was 9.5 seconds. The amount of damage and things they had to repair to my car just because other people decided to try and freaking kill me, basically. You've got to be kidding me on that one. But here we are, getting back out on the track once again, all the way back in last place, having to make up a bunch of time. I guess one good thing, Magnussen stopped. It did go a little bit quicker than mine, so he did get out of the pits earlier. So we were able to catch up and get him past fairly quickly. It did take us a couple laps as we're now on lap 12. Coming in, trying to get closer to our top 15. Squeezing it in on the bottom of this little big swooping turnaround. And that, I figured we could probably use that for to our advantage. But they're not giving anything. Raikkonen not wanting to just let it go, to accept your fate, bro. I got past you. I did have to enact my overtake on that one, just to actually squeeze it past. He's got a pretty good car coming into this track. So next one up is, well, that's going to be Raikkonen. I guess that was Giovinazzi I was battling with back there. I don't know. All the Haas drivers, I hate them. That's all I'll say. All right, Raikkonen. Top 15 spot is less than 1 second ahead of me right now. We got 16 laps to go in this race. Almost to that halfway point. Have had a couple collisions, big time pit stops, and now is my time to put that solid race. Got to squeeze right past Raikkonen, and we were able to do it. Now our teammate Alessi's just over a second ahead of us. I know he's not that great. He should be better at setting the pace than what he is. So we'll be able to get past him. It's just making sure we get past him without, you know, either wrecking him or wrecking ourselves, basically. At this point, closing the distance, less than a half second now, and just got to pick my spot carefully. Got to know we come out of those corners strong. We have this little opening, and he'll take off. We'll catch up. That I'm not concerned about that. So I'm going to try to shoot it down to the inside. Once again, this is that little turnaround section. I've been able to hit these turns pretty smooth and drop it down to the inside, and that's what I'm going to do. I hate to say it, on my teammate. As we will squeeze right past them, as we are in P14 now on lap number 13. See, that turn has been a savior for us, giving us lots of opportunities to get past some guys and make up a lot of the distance that we've had to, because idiots like Kvyat and Magnussen trying to wreck me and put me into the damn wall. So here we are, P14. And we are going to advance a little bit further in the race to lap number 17, where we have been able to advance to P10 thanks to pit stops having to occur for a lot of these other racers. Normally I'd say for myself, because this is when it would be planned out, but no need. I had to stop twice already in the first 10, so I'm pretty solid. You know what I mean? Pretty dang solid. I do still have to watch my tires, though. That can definitely become an issue later on. So here we are, lap number 17, P11, fighting with Carlos Sainz of, who's that, McLaren Racing, to try to get past him and get in that top 10 spot, squeezing it down on the inside of that turnaround. Now I just need to put the space between us. Keep it going, and that is growing. Sainz is dropping further and further back on us. That was a beautiful execution on getting past him in that turnaround, as we will advance up into the top 10 position. And now it's seeing how high can we go at this stage. It'd be a miracle to pull out a win. 11 laps, 9 more spots. I'm not sure that can happen, but we're going to give it our damnedest. But at least let's see how far we can go if we can't get that number 1 position. All right. Here coming up, we got Daniel Ricardo. This is one man that is semi-rivalristic to me. Man, I watched that series on Netflix, Formula One or F1, whatever it's called, Driven, something like that. I don't know. It's a series on Netflix that follows Formula One teams and drivers throughout a couple seasons for racing. And actually, I guess we are having to take a pit stop. Damn it. We're going to drop back again. Although we do have enough space between us and Norris that I'm not too worried. I'll be able to catch up to him, I think, relatively quickly. And a lot of guys pitted behind us, too. So we've got that going. 2.9 seconds, and we're out. But anyways, back to that series. Daniel Ricardo on it. I don't know. Something about it, I just don't like him all that much. And I think Netflix probably didn't get a good feeling. Maybe he just didn't like Netflix because he was in season 1, like a focus of it. He was not a focus of season 2. So, I don't know. Well, we'll kind of see how that goes. Any other things come out on Netflix for it, but he just wasn't my favorite racer that I've watched, basically. That's what I was trying to get at on the long way around. So, once again, here we are now on lap 20 of 28. So, about 8 more laps to go, give or take. And we are back in the top 10, but we're battling with stinking Carlos Sainz once again to try to get past him. And he's a pretty good driver. McLaren's got good vehicles, good cars, and some decent money that they put into it. I think, though, it's just going to take being patient. All right, that's what the name of this game is you got to be patient with when you hit those passing points, when you shoot in for it, and when you don't, because that'll determine whether or not you wreck your car, you successfully get past somebody, or you just fail and end up dropping spot after spot after spot. So we got we're about 0.2 of a second. We're going to try to get him on the outside coming into turn 1 as he has to slow up. We hammer our brakes, almost lock up our tires coming into that first turn, but it is enough to get us past Sainz, as he is now in our rear view window. So we're coming up on Perez. He is about 5 seconds ahead of us, so we have got some space to make up. 7 laps to go here in Vietnam. Still battling, trying to maybe get a top 5. From last place to last place twice in the race to top 5. This would be an absolutely outstanding outcome that I could ever hope for in it. So, and here we come, lap number 25. We did end up getting past Perez, but look at who it is ahead of us. Speak of the devil, as they say, Mr. Daniel Ricardo. Right ahead for Renault Racing in P7. We're in P8. 3 laps to go at this point, and this is what it's all about. These types of little battles here in the back of it. You know, when you're in first, it's just smooth sailing. You ain't got to worry too much. Just about guys coming up from behind you. But if you keep your timing, you keep your pace, you're good. But when you're battling for positions, that's what determined. That's the best part about racing. It's one of the funnest parts about, you know, this F1 game, and even watching F1 is just the battle for positions outside of first place. And this is why we do it, ladies and gentlemen, right here, trying to take out someone like Daniel Ricardo. This is why we do it. Coming into the back half of the 25th lap here at Vietnam, and this stupid little S-turn. I felt so out of control every single time we'd go on these. I don't know if you could feel it right there going through that, like just seeing it, but man, it drove me insane. I could never feel comfortable hitting those things as hard as I could. I always ended up letting off the gas a little bit. Daniel Ricciardo's going to take that path. We're going to shoot to the inside of him. And now we got the man with the same name and different car ahead of us. Mr. Sebastian Vettel. Here we come, Sebastian Champion, taking on Sebastian Vettel. The battles of the... the Battle of Sebastians. Battle of Sebastians. It cracks myself up every time I do. Alright, P7, aiming for P6 right in front of us, coming off this best little... That's the best way we've handled the start of these turns at this track. Pretty much all race. So that's what we need, but I don't try to push it too hard. I know I can... I'm pretty sure I can get him coming in on this big swooping turn. As I'm going to shoot it down low. Make sure my tires hold on. He's going to try to push me in. It's just maintaining. Just don't hit him. And he actually keeps us off his tail. So here we come. Overtake has been enacted as we are shooting straight down. Kind of push him a little bit closer to the wall and make him slow up a little bit. But we come hauling ass out of that turn as we have just about passed the halfway point of the 26th lap in this sharp little turnaround. Take it a little too fast, kind of hammer my brakes too much. So he does stay right on my butt. Coming into this little segment and this little S-turn is where I can start making some space with him. As long as I pick the right line appropriately. And that's going to be the biggest thing. And we are able to get through that fairly smooth. And yeah, you can see Vettel is still 2 seconds behind us. So that was about as best as we could ask for. Now Albon, 7.5 seconds. We got just over 2 laps to go at this point. Coming up, we got lap 27 and 28, and here we go. It took us a lap to catch up, but we're now 2 seconds behind Albon coming into the final lap, and that is not how I wanted to start, by swinging myself almost into the wall and off the track after that first turn. I do have the hammer, pedal to the metal. Hammer down, if you will, on this one, trying to get up to Albon. If I get P5, I would be just ecstatic. Hitting our corners a little too short, and that causes a little bit of bumps, so we lose some time on those. That was just poor driving mistake on my part. As we come out of it, and Albon's got obviously the momentum, so we will push in our overtake, and we're coming up on the DRS zone, so we'll be able to enact that one as well. As we do, we hammer that perfect timing. We are trying to chase him down. The battle for 5th place, as this is going to be coming down to the end. We shoot inside, but too fast. We can't hold the turn. We had the 5th spot, and Albon just takes it right back from us. Oh, man, that was gutsy, but poor driving, I'll say. We are going to have at least one more chance to get past him, so we are going to have to take advantage, but I've got to hit these little S-turns solid. And so far, pretty good. I swing too far outside on that one. It's trying to get in whenever they hit those brakes. If we can shoot down inside of them, we might be able to get that pass. Albon is just watching us as Lewis Hamilton makes it. We're going to shoot, try, and Albon pushes us around like we're a wee little child, as he will take the checkered flag in 5th place. We will take 6th. It's not the way I wanted it to end, but it's what I'll take, with the way this whole race has gone for us today. So, got driver of the day because of that. That's always a positive, right? All right, so yes, Lewis Hamilton wins again with Mercedes. I can't say that I'm shocked by that. I don't think anybody is really.
Deliver this result.
Lewis Hamilton, that's one thing about F1. You really have more or less 3 teams, I think, that compete for positions, podium positions pretty consistently. Mercedes, the Red Bull, or one of the Red Bull teams, and Ferrari generally tend to be the top candidates. Maybe in this coming year, I think they're changing stuff up with how much money teams can put into it. I'm not exactly sure. I just do believe that's the case. So maybe we'll start seeing a little bit of leveling of the playing field. But I still wouldn't doubt it very much. As Mercedes takes what looks like 1 and 2, and Verstappen for Red Bull comes in 3rd on that one. And so I guess when I think about it, 6th place is probably as good as I could ask for. Being put into the wall twice within 10 laps was pretty damn tough to overcome. And thankfully, Kvyat got disqualified for his shiesty driving. Maybe they'll ask me about that in our little post-race press conference. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? Yeah, I didn't have much of a choice, okay? So this, really, I just want to make sure we give our team the credit that they need. And it just kind of overall helps development-wise of new additions. And I guess our overall team persona, more or less. Oh, acclaim is how they do it here in F1. Left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling to grip? But look at these options. You can either pick, yeah, the car sucked, or I don't know what happened. So, I mean, the other thing you can do is basically go with the I don't know what happened. I'm not going to blame any of that stuff on my team because that wasn't their fault. That was stupid Magnussen, Kvyat, Haas Racing, those low-down, cheap, no-gooders. It was their fault for that. So, all right. So we're going to get moving on to the next race, which will be in China. And so that's where I will catch up with y'all. Now remember to hit the subscribe button if you have not already. And if you did like today's video, go ahead and hit that little thumbs up button as well. And stay tuned for all Champ and Sons content coming up in the future. So as always, everybody, stay safe and, well, you know how it goes. Later, y'all.